Hello and welcome to Magical Travel Adventure. I am Lauren, your host, and today we are going to be talking about your check-in and check-out day at Walt Disney World. Sometimes hard to understand what you should do, if you're allowed to do certain things, how it all works. So I'm going to break it down so you understand what you can do in check-in and check-out day so you can have, obviously, a fantastic vacation. If you're new here, I'm Lauren. I'm a travel advisor and I specialize in personalized family vacations where I help you to plan your personalized trip, not just what you see on the internet, but something that's specific for you and your family. My information is below and make sure you check out. I have some resources to also help you plan your next Disney World, Universal vacation. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what it is with check-in and check-out day. So on your check-in day, your rooms at Walt Disney World will be ready at around 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. If you do the online check-in beforehand, you can do that as soon as you want, as soon as it shows up for you. But you can start checking into the resort so that you can go straight to your room when it is available. Now, the resort is not going to necessarily be ready ahead of time. So you have to know that at 3 p.m., your room should be ready. And if you didn't receive a message, that you're going to go to the front desk and ask about it. If you are staying at one of the Disney Vacation Club resorts, it is not until 4 p.m. So be aware of that. On your check-in day, however, you have access to the resort. That means you can park your car there. You can have your luggage there. You can use the pool. You can eat there. You can start using your resort refillable mug. All those things you have access to on your check-in day, even if you don't have access to your room yet. Your room, you can arrive at any time. Sometimes, I fly in like super late and actually stay at the airport and then go at like 6 a.m. to my resort. My room is obviously not ready, but what I do is I drop my luggage at luggage services. You can leave your luggage there and they'll hold it for you there. If you have groceries, they will hold it there. They have refrigerators that they can keep your groceries in also. And then you can go off to the parks. Like there's so many things. We're going to talk about all the things you can do, but you can go off on your day then. Okay. And then when you return, what you'll do is if you go straight to your room and it's ready, you can go in and then call luggage services and say, can you please bring my bags to my room? And they will bring your bags to the room. You should know that you should tip them for doing that. But yes, and if I'm leaving my bags somewhere, I am tipping them. And if they are bringing me my bags, I am tipping them. So just make sure you're aware of that when you're leaving your bags also. Typically $1 or $2 per bag is the tipping in the United States. Now, your room may be open early for you. They may say like, oh yeah, we can do that. If you've had any special requests, your room will not be ready early. Okay. So just know that your goal is to, you decide. It will say in your check-in time, like, is it more important that you get your request or is it more important that you get there on time or get in earlier? They can't always guarantee getting in early. During COVID, we seem to be able to get into the rooms much earlier. Now they're really sticking to that 3 p.m. time, that they're not letting as many people in early as they have in the past. So that's your check-in day. Let's talk about your checkout day. Checkout is at 11 a.m. So you need to be out of your room by 11 a.m. If you are looking for a late checkout, you want to walk to the physical front desk and talk to them to see if you can get a later checkout. Now, a later checkout is normally like 12 p.m. You're not really going to get past 1 p.m. for a late checkout. So just know that ahead of time. And you still have access to the resort all day. Even if you don't have access to your room after 11 a.m., you can still use the pool. You can still, dine there. You can still be sitting in the lobby. You can still be around in that area. You can still use the transportations to and from the parks. So all those things are things that you can do on your check-in and check-out day. And you can depart anytime. Most of my clients depart out later in the day because they want that day to either go to Disney Springs or just to do other things in the area. When it's checkout time, there's nothing you need to do. Sometimes they'll send you something like they'll send you like your bill for the week, or they'll say like, "Are you ready to check out yet?" You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to go to the front desk. There's nothing that you need to do. Leave your room before 11 a.m. with all your stuff is the only thing that you need to do. Again, luggage services will hold your luggage. You can call them that morning and say, "Can you please come get my luggage?" And they will bring it down to luggage services for you and hold it until you come back to pick it up. So take advantage of that option if you need it, because it's really helpful that they hold your luggage throughout the day. So, different things you can do on your check-in and check-out day. Obviously, the number one thing would be to physically go to the parks. If you're getting there, I'm going on a trip in a few weeks, and we are getting there at we fly in at like 9 a.m. And I'm like, okay, we're definitely going to the parks that day. Like, we don't need to waste, I don't need to waste a whole day and not go to the parks, because I want to be in the parks as much as possible. But maybe you don't. And maybe you're like, "Oh my gosh, flying is enough. I just want to like get there and then be settled and we can start fresh the next day." But decide that ahead of time on what it is that you want to do. Some people want to be in the parks the whole time, so they want a park ticket on their arrival day because they know they're arriving so early. A lot of people do it on their checkout day. They will come in and they'll know, okay, well, we'll check out our room and we'll leave our stuff at luggage services. And then we're going to go to the parks until like 6 p.m. And then we'll come back, get our stuff, and go to the airport because our flight's not till 9 o'clock tonight. So don't feel like you can't go to the parks on your check-in and check-out day. It's still a possibility to do that. A lot of people go to Disney Springs. This is that shopping and entertainment area in Disney that you can get a bus from your resort starting at, around 9:30, 9:45. They'll start buses to Disney Springs and you can go and explore. There's no, you don't have to have a reservation or anything. There's a lot of quick service options. There are some awesome table service options. The boathouse here is my absolute favorite. I am highly allergic to seafood and I love this place. So just know that that's a great option, is going to Disney Springs. There's shopping, there's entertainment, there's a movie theater down there. So there's all different types of things that you can do on that check-in or check-out day. And it went backwards. The other thing is you can enjoy the pool. So a lot of times people think it's my checkout day, I can't use the pool. You can definitely use the pool. And I love the pool areas in all Disney resorts because there's normally a laundry service around there also. But the other thing is there are large bathrooms for you to change if you need to change. So if you don't have your room to go back to, well, okay, you can change into your bathing suits out by the pool. There are bathrooms there that you can change in and out of your stuff, and then you're all set. So yes, you might have to carry around like a backpack for the day so you have your bathing suits and your other clothes, but I think that that's sometimes worth it so that you can, go to the pool and have like a relaxing day. I know that I stay there. I stay either on my check-in day or my check-out day. I will stay past 11 o'clock almost all the time, and I will enjoy that pool area. I like many of the pool areas. These are my two favorite pool areas. This is at Beach and Yacht Club, the pool area here, and then Caribbean Beach Resort is on the right. And those are my two pool favorite areas to stay and really relax and enjoy when I'm at the parks or not in the parks. Another thing that you can do is you can resort hop. So in the holiday season, especially, people love to go to see the different resort options that you can see for the holidays. So on, Grand Floridian, I talk about a lot, they have that special gingerbread house that you can see and you can buy certain things. So maybe you go over to the Grand Floridian. And maybe then you go over to Wilderness Lodge and you see that tree. Maybe there's a specific resort that you really want to go to. So you decide we're going to make a reservation to eat at one of the restaurants there. And then, we get to also go and see that resort. Make sure you realize how you can get to the resort. There's no internal buses going resort to resort. So you might have to take an Uber or Lyft. You might have to drive your own car there. You might have to take transportation to a parks and then transfer to one of the ways that transportation to get back to that other resort. So just know there are some logistical issues with this that you might want to know, but definitely doable. Also, transportation. Kids love riding transportation. If you've never been on this show before or ever heard me talk, my son loves the Skyliner. I also love the Skyliner, but my son loves the Skyliner. He has never stayed, he's staying for the first time. I don't know, we've gone like 5 or 6 times with him. He's only stayed on the Skyliner. And we're going for like a super quick trip and we're not staying on the Skyliner. And I'm a little nervous because I know I'm still going to have to drive him over just to ride the Skyliner a few times because he just loves that. And that's fine. But on your rest day or on your check-in, check-out day, you can go over and, maybe you take the bus to Hollywood Studios, but don't go into Hollywood Studios, and then just get on the Skyliner and just ride it. And it's just kind of fun. I talk about it all the time. I will get on the Skyliner, go to Caribbean Beach, because right at the Caribbean Beach stop, there is a Joffrey's coffee stop, and I will get my iced tea. And sometimes I will get my son the most gigantic donut in the world. And we will just ride the Skyliner. I will drink my iced tea. My son will eat his donut. And we have a glorious hour just doing that and not going into the parks. The same thing can be said for riding the monorail. People love riding the monorail. Sometimes just riding the monorail around. A lot of people like to take the monorail over to Epcot because the monorail actually goes into Epcot and around. You don't need a park ticket to ride the monorail. You don't need a park ticket to ride the Skyliner or to use the Disney transportation. So you can still just ride these transportation options and just kind of see things. And then, relax. Maybe then you go back to the Contemporary and you have a Chef Mickey reservation, a character meal reservation. So, there's so many different options that you could do here. You have those food options where you can do those character meals on these days. There are character meals that are outside the parks. So maybe that's a reservation that you want to have for your check-in and check-out day. There's a lot of different options that you can do. Another thing that people do is they go to other places that are not on Disney property at all. So lately, I guess people are really loving going to the Kennedy Space Center. So if you want to go to the Kennedy Space Center, you can either rent a car, take an Uber or Lyft or whatever, or set up transportation and go to the Kennedy Space Center for the day and then come back, pick up your luggage, and maybe that night you're flying out. Some people go over to Universal Studios for the day or to SeaWorld. There's so many different options in that Central Florida area that you can go to. So you don't have to be limited to just staying on that Disney property. Some people love being in the Disney bubble. They don't want to go anywhere else. But in this case, you might want to, go to other locations if there's other things that you want to see. So basically, the biggest thing that you need to remember is that you have access to your resort on the full day of check-in and check-out day, and that you have a lot of different options that you can do that are not necessarily being in the parks. So make sure that you look at what it is that you want to do so that you can have a successful check-in or check-out day, or both, All right, that will do it for today's show. If you need some extra assistance, you can look for my information below. And also there are some free resources to help you plan your next vacation. And I will talk to you next time on Magical Travel Adventure. Bye.